Hey guys, we're going to start in just a moment here. Just a moment. Hello, Craig and Ron, and who else? We got here a bunch of stuff here. Let's see. And Robert and Greg. Hold on, you guys. We're going to start in a second. You're going to really enjoy the show tonight. It's a lot of fun. I have done a buttload of prep to get this done tonight. Sorry, I had a technical glitch there. There we are. Let's start this. All right, so happy Friday to you. Thanks for joining me already. You may notice a couple of things. I'm working on a new microphone. Right now, I have completely redone the studio, updated the lighting, made it kind of look cool, as cool as it's going to make me look. I'm using the cans tonight. I just thought I'd use the cans instead of putting in the little earbuds. But anyway, we have much to get to tonight, and I'm very eager to get to it. I've been doing a lot of prep, and I haven't had a lot of time. Hello, Kim. Kim, hello, Kim Wilson. How are your daughters? Amazing. And Greg and Robert. And if you would, and Felix and Craig and Ron, if you would, please share on social media. That would be glorious. That would be really, really cool. Thank you. Thank you. A couple of things before we start. Newsmax TV is where my TV show airs, and I will be there tomorrow 3 times. All weekend 3 times, and it's a really funny show. If you feel like, and I'm a libertarian-leaning conservative, if you are tired of late-night TV beating the snot out of the country and the president, and you're tired of just the left owning late-night TV, this is an alternative. And guys, I've made a career out of being funny from the conservative side of the persuasion. and the amazing thing is, guys, I want to tell you right now, I've had people reject me, turn me down because I'm a conservative. Back in the 90s, I tried to write for a Prairie Home Companion, and they found out I wrote for Limbaugh. And they said, nah. About 10, 12 years ago, I auditioned for Oprah's own network. They found out I was a conservative. The producer for Mark Burnett, one of Mark Burnett's producers, said, where have you been all my life? They found out I'm a conservative, and it was over. It was over. Newsmax TV, these folks and Christopher Ruddy, I just sent him a package earlier this year. I sent him a video, and I said, hey, man, what do you think? And Christopher Ruddy said, I'm going to give you a show. You're going to be a superstar. And so I'm going to do my very best on Newsmax TV and here to entertain you, inform you, and just have some fun. Hello, my niece, Heather. How are you? It's good to see you tonight. Good to see you. I guess I'll see you at the family reunion if my sister Annette is still talking to me. Anyway, we won't get into that. We won't get into that. So, a lot of stuff are going on. A lot of things are going on in the country right now, and they are troubling. And you, as someone who loves the country and feels blessed to live here, are confused and bewildered. And I won't say scared, because you're not scared. You're tough like me, and you're quite honestly just done with this shit. You're done with statues being torn down. You're done with the demeaning of the police department. Who's behind? Who is behind? Honestly, who says it's okay to defund the cops and to abuse the police? Who is behind that? If you're behind that, you're done. You are going to be done. In the fall, you are going to be done. Donald Trump will come back into another 4 years, and you will be crushed out of existence. If you support Antifa, if you support the fascist, Marxist, Black Lives Matter, You are done. You will be done in the fall. Because me, and oh yes, I know I'm a white male. I'm an angry white male and all that. No, we're just done. Millions of black people have watched the national anthem be played and cried with joy for living here. This entire anti-American movement, this Black Lives Movement, this Antifa movement is built on false premises, and it's evil. If evil wins, then Adolf Hitler's grandson would be running Germany right now. If evil wins, Stalin's grandson would be running Russia right now, which would be the United Soviet Socialist Republic. I don't know if you knew that. That's what Russia used to be called. But evil will not win, and if you support the Democrat Party right now, you are supporting evil. And I am not afraid to say that right now. You are supporting evil. You are supporting insubordination. You are supporting treason. Unfriend me. I don't care. I've had some of the best friends in the world unfriend me because of politics. And I'm honestly, if that is the basis of our friendship, then we were never friends. We were never friends. So let's get to the video goodness, shall we? I think we should. Oh, by the way, right up here, these are some of my designs that you might want to check out. You know what? I think I've got a new slideshow. I don't like that slideshow. That's an old slideshow. We've got but just go to that website. That website is completely fine, but that is not that is not the slideshow, because we have some new designs that I want to get to. I want to get rid of that. Bye-bye, slideshow. Here are some of the new T-shirt designs, T-shirts, mugs, whatever. There you go. Boom! There you go. Hashtag done with the NFL. That's big. That's big. Nah, not going to wear a mask. Okay? I know you think I'm crazy, but I hate to tell you this. In states like Florida and all over the country, they've discovered that they've been faking the coronavirus test results to inflate the numbers. All right, the United States of America is the leader in the world with regard to testing and treatment of coronavirus, and yet we are told that the United States of America is out of control with regard to the corona outbreak. And what's the only difference between our country and the rest of the world? Donald Trump's running for president in November. It's horse shit. Yes, I wear a mask at work. Yes, I wear a mask if they ask me to wear it at Walmart. I do. Yes, it is serious for people who have comorbidities. My God in heaven, yes. But it's not worse than the flu. And I'm done with this nonsense. I am done with my daughter not being able to go to school. I am done with my son not being able to go to KU, University of Kansas. I'm done with this shit. It is time to fight back. It is nonsense. I will get into some of that here very shortly. So where do we start? Where do we start? Let's start with violence in American cities. Chicago is a mess. New York is a mess. New York is a freaking mess. New York City is, the violent crime rate is through the ceiling. It is shades of David Dinkins, New York in the 70s. It's sickening, and it shouldn't happen. And it's because idiot New Yorkers who have left the city en masse have voted for Democrats for so long. This was a fight on I think it was the Brooklyn Bridge the other day, where police officers were beaten by supposed peaceful protesters. Okay, there are the police officers. attempting to quell a violent disturbance, and they were physically attacked. This cannot continue to happen. Police officers were left bloodied and bruised by what were supposed to be. Originally, there were protesters who were involved in the movement. They were going to do a peaceful movement, and somebody from Black Lives Matter arrived with a trunk full of baseball bats. Here's a little bit more of a. This is what's happening in New York City. This is a police car being pelted by protesters. Yeah. This is a couple weeks ago. This is what's happening in the country. This is what's happening in the country. Police are being forced to retreat from crime scenes like this, and consequently, crime rates have gone through the ceiling. Now, this is in front of the police headquarters the other day. And, of course, because of these mindless monkey morons who are in the crowd, largely white crowd, by the way, just sit there to babble, and they sit there to repeat what the guy on the megaphone has to say.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You're an effing moron. Take your do-rag from the 90s and get the F off the stage.
With Bloods, Crips, Lion Kings, 5%ers, Muslims, because they're...
I don't care what color they are. We all the same. We bleed the same. We sit the same. We the same.
Yeah.
We ain't the same.
Yeah.
We all the same.
Yeah.
There ain't no racism here.
Why do they have drop claws under these people? Do they pee themselves? What's going on?
Because I had to have surgery on it.
Look at these kids. They're like maybe 12, maybe 13, have no idea what's going on. Why are their parents allowing them to be here?
And for 4 days, I didn't get medical attention. And the only time...
What is medico intention? I don't know what that is. And remember, kids, Black lives only matter when it's politically expedient. Have you noticed that with all the murders that have happened in Chicago that involve children, all of the shootings that have happened in New York and Chicago and all that, Al Sharpton is nowhere to be seen. Have you noticed that? Here's a report from Newsmax TV, where I actually work now. Yeah, I know, it's cool.
Violence hits NYC again. What started out as a peaceful unity protest ended up with NYPD officers beaten and bloody on the Brooklyn Bridge. These are the photos you're seeing there, and there's the incident. One of New York's top cops left with a broken bone after this attack from a rioter swinging at officers. There it is. During this march, this peaceful march, 3 other officers sustained serious injuries. Obviously not peaceful. Who's to blame for this? What happens? Our next guest points the finger at the mayor of New York, Bill de Blasio. We'll bring in now Vincent Vallalong.
I got a finger that I'd like to point at the mayor, but I'm not gonna. I can, but it's real close to this one. It's this one here, actually. That's the one I'd like to point at the mayor. But you know what? It's a family show. Kind of.
The vice president of the Sergeants Benevolent Association. Vincent, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming on. So this was supposed to be a unity rally, convened and organized. What happened here? Walk me through that.
And by the way, it was until Black Lives Matter arrived with a trunkload of baseball bats.
Well, it was a unity rally. I mean, the Bishop Seabrook put on a great event. However, the individuals that Mayor de Blasio doesn't collect rent from that live next door to the building decided that they were going to make it a violent protest on their end. And from what I understand early on in the morning.
And by the way, for those of you who think that these protests are largely peaceful, you're out of your effing mind. You are out of your effing mind. All right. I'm just looking at all the video clips that I have to share with you tonight with regard to New York going to hell in a handbasket. Absolutely hell in a handbasket. Here is the president talking about Democrat cities that are going to hell in a handbasket, including Chicago, Seattle, Portland, also New York City.
We will be meeting you in a similar vein, but a little different subject next week, and that concerns our cities. And again, people that have lost control of some of our great cities. We're going to straighten things out. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.
You talked about taking over cities earlier this week. Is that what next week's announcement is about?
You'll be seeing next week. We'll have a conference next week, and we'll tell you in great detail. But it's something that I think at this point the American people want to see. They've been run very poorly, these cities, whether it's Seattle, where we were getting ready to go in and they decided to go in, and that's good. Minneapolis, where we had the National Guard go in, and as soon as they did that, we straightened that mess out. They should have been able to do it locally with their police. Their police are good. They were told not to do anything. Or many other cases. We're doing a great job in Portland. Portland was very rough, and they
are actually kicking ass in Portland, by the way.
Called us in, and we did a good job, to put it mildly. Many people in jail right now. But we have other cities that are out of control. They're like war zones. And if the city isn't going to straighten it out, if local politicians, all in this case, I don't say this for political reasons, they're all Democrats. They're liberal, left-wing Democrats, and it's almost like they think this is going to be this way forever. Where in Chicago, 68 people were shot and 18 died last week. We're not going to put up with that. We're not going to put up with that. So that's for our next discussion. Thank you.
Now, I've been having this discussion in the last few days about evil winning, and evil never does, guys. We have to endure a lot of evil. And I am not trying to be an ideologue here. I'm just saying that right now, there are some really evil things going on in the country with regard to the destruction of the cities, with regard to defunding the police. And this has all come about because of the death of, and by the way, the unjust death of a man in Minneapolis a couple of months ago. Do you remember his name? If you're a Democrat, you probably don't. Turn on my headphones here real quick, guys. That would be George Floyd. He was killed by a police officer. George Floyd was not a saint. George Floyd was someone who supposedly was on his way, from being a career criminal into being a productive member of society when he decided to, for some odd reason, pass a counterfeit bill to a cashier. George Floyd, previous in his life, had held a woman at gunpoint. She was pregnant. The gun pointed at her stomach. And he spent time in jail. Was he trying to turn his life around? I hope so. Did he deserve the death penalty for passing a $20 bill? No. And it's caused a discussion that we've been having for a very long time to be rekindled. Unfortunately, that discussion has been accompanied by massive violence, largely peaceful protests that have resulted in the destruction of billions of dollars of property, thousands of people being injured, and hundreds being killed. At least hundreds still being killed in major cities like New York and Chicago. It is remarkable. And I have said from the get-go, actually I've been doing this for a long time, 30 years. 30 years ago when I was in Columbia, Missouri, I remember there was a really bad neighborhood in Columbia, Missouri. And of course, demographically, it generally is a black neighborhood. And it sucks that it's that way. But that's the way it is in this country. If you see a boulevard that is named Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, or you see one that's named after Malcolm X, it's going to be the worst neighborhood in the city. You don't want to live on those in those neighborhoods because they've not learned a thing from history. And they continue to destroy, wreck, rob, steal, rape, whatever. It's not necessarily black people. But it just so happens that these neighborhoods, unfortunately, always suck. They always suck. And until we recognize the ills associated with the African-American community in inner cities, by the way, it'll never get better. Children will continue to die. Babies will continue to die. Hold on. This nonsense will continue to happen. I'm looking for some video clips that I might have here, guys.